I just did my bills for the month. First time in my life, at 51 years old, living in the United States of America, with 2 full-time incomes in the home. I gotta make a choice. I gotta choose. I gotta choose between lights, land taxes, or food.
And I went on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries.
Is it cheaper? Are your groceries cheaper? That's why you voted for him, right, you dumb fucking bitch? Is it fucking cheaper? And the answer is fucking no, you dumb fucking bitch. That's what we fucking told you.
I knew it was bad. I just didn't know it was this bad.
There's a whole thing that Trump promised everyone that people voted for is lower gas prices, and here we are.
Lower prices on everything is what he said. Groceries, gas, everything. I feel like everything is just more expensive.
$5 for gas is outrageous. Just can't pay it. Rather stay on my bike.
And then on gas prices, how much longer will Americans continue to see these high gas prices?
Well, they're not very high. If you look at what they were supposed to be in order to get rid of a nuclear weapon with the danger that entails. So the gas prices have come down very much over the last 3-4 days. I know, that's what ABC says. But the fact is that if you look at the stock market's up, everything's doing really well.
It stinks because everything else is higher, and they don't give a damn about people anymore. And nobody's gonna tell me that they're not making money, because they are making money because of us, we're still supporting them.
So do you think Trump got the note? Did you see on the news today that groceries were up 33%, the highest price in over 50 fucking years? And this son of a bitch has the nerve to say, prices are going down, we're doing great. I get so sick and tired of hearing this, how great we're all doing. Has this guy ever shopped for groceries? I don't think so. 33 fucking percent it's up. 33%. So Donald Trump, I hope somebody shares this to him. Maybe you better listen to the people that help get you into office, because they're fucking struggling. They can't afford to feed their fucking children. And you keep, you just over there with your Chevy dealership just a couple days ago and replacing all your fucking cars with brand new Escalades because your people in your group, they all like to ride in style. Well, ain't that nice? You're riding around in fucking Escalades and we got people eating all these Fruit Loops because that's all they can afford. All these Fruit Loops. Would you ever eat that? No. You've never shopped. You've never cooked. You just sit around being hand-served food, catered to, living a life of luxury, mocking and laughing at all the people that voted you in. Shame on you. Shame on you.
So for all you fucking MAGA snowflakes that voted for Trump for the economy, for gas prices and cheaper eggs, I want to tell you something that you probably don't know because you don't know how to do research. Trump announced his 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada today, and that sounds great, wonderful. Except for the fact that only about 10% of the oil that we use in the US comes from the Middle East. You know where the rest of it comes from? Mexico and fucking Canada. So guess what? When gas prices are up at 45% in the next 6 months, I'm going to go around and I'm going to stick those stupid fucking stickers that you guys put on the gas pumps during COVID when Biden was president. Only this time it's going to have Trump's face and it's going to say, I did that. And you guys are going to have to fucking look at it and I'm going to laugh.
They were won by millions, but they didn't listen. But now they're seeing the consequences of their actions play out in real time. But now it's sad because even the ones who didn't vote for this are paying the price. So let's get to see more. Please like and share, right?
I've asked this question before and now I'm going to ask it again. MAGA, what did you get? Genuinely, I'm asking from a place of curiosity. What did you get? He promised cheaper groceries, but the moment he got into office, he put tariffs on literally everything, which made our groceries more expensive, so we didn't get that. He promised cheaper gas, and we know that was a lie. We can go outside and see that. He promised no new wars, and we know that was also a lie. He promised to release the e-files, and we see that was quite literally a complete disaster. He promised deportation, which to your credit, I give you, he did, but we had to do it in the most inhumane way possible. But my question is, how has your life changed? Did you get those jobs they were taking? No, you didn't, because he lied about them taking your jobs. He lied about y'all paying tax dollars to help fund them. Your life didn't change. You're living the same exact life you were living before the deportations, and you're paying the same amount of taxes. Nothing changed. All we got out of that was chaos. You didn't get the $5,000 stimulus check that he promised. He tricked y'all with the no tax on overtime, and y'all still don't have an affordable healthcare plan. plan. The housing market that he promised to fix, the energy market that he promised to fix, all these markets that he promised to fix has only gotten worse. So what did you get? Because to me, it's not looking like you got anything. And if you're somebody that's still waiting on those empty promises, my question to you is, at what point are you going to realize that he lied? How long is it going to take until you realize that you're not getting anything that he promised? But y'all let me know. I see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I was at the grocery store and I was talking to the lady in front of me in line. The cashier was ringing up her stuff and she was watching her total go up. She goes, "Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous." And I said, "I know, everything is so expensive." And she goes, "It's just ridiculous." And I was like, "Yep." And then she goes, she got real quiet. She goes, "I can't believe they lied." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, who lied? I love this. Who lied?" Did somebody at the grocery store lie? She goes, "Donald Trump and all the Republicans, they lied. They said everything was going to be less expensive, more affordable. Groceries would be cheaper, gas would be cheaper, living expenses for the average American would be cheaper." And I was like, she goes, "But they lied. It's not true." I was like, yeah. And I told her, I said, I would have told you before you ever voted that he was lying and that wouldn't ever come true. But you probably wouldn't have listened to me. And she goes, "You're right. I probably wouldn't have." I was like, "What?" And she just goes, I feel awful. I feel awful that I voted for him. I feel like I let myself down. I feel like I let my family down. I feel like I let my kids down. And I was like, hey, I get it. I really do. It's so easy to beat yourself up over choices that you've made, but you got to give yourself some grace. You know better, you do better, and that's all you could do, And she just goes, "Yeah, you're right." Then she goes, "I wish there was a lemon law for voting." And I go, "Oh, you know what? I wish there was too, because I guarantee you half the folks that voted for him would have returned that right to the voter dealership. Right on back to the voter dealership." She goes, "You're probably right." Anyway, I just am so frustrated. Because if they just would have done their research, if they would have listened to a voice outside, the little conservative bubble, maybe they would have been like, "Oh, maybe I should look into that." Not openly just "Oh, I'm going to disregard everything I believe and I'm going to go with that." But maybe plant a seed, to look into things for themselves. Use Google. Find some information, outside of whoever was talking to them, through the TV, through the phone, through the news, whatever. If they just would have anyway, it's so frustrating. But they're realizing that they made a mistake, which is great. It's just a little too late. But I hope, right, that it's a good learning experience for them, and that they take that into their midterm elections, right, and they vote according to what they've actually looked into and pick people who would actually benefit them and their families the most, right, instead of just voting red or blue. And maybe even into the next presidential election, we don't just vote red or blue because that's what we've always done. We vote for somebody who would actually benefit the majority of Americans, right?
Okay, big surprise here. Trump let it loudly be known that he doesn't care about the American people's finances. He doesn't care that they can't buy bread and milk, and he doesn't care they can't drive to the grocery store because they can't afford gas. Doesn't even faze him a bit. All right, so let me ask you guys a question. If you ran a business and your board of directors got together and says, "You know what, we need a new president of the organization that's going to go in and he's going to clean up all the waste and everything that we've got wrong with the company, he's going to come in and fix." All right. So people in the red hats vote him in, and he gets in there. His first month on the job, he starts dismantling all the hard work that it took to put the right people in the right place. He starts dismantling everything that you built this company to be. starts firing all the people that you put in place yourself, and lo and behold, he starts skimming from the books. So all of a sudden, you're seeing your company being gutted. The waste might be out of your pocketbook, but now it's gone into his pocketbook. And now he's telling you, you know what? I'm just going to take your company over. I'm going to dismantle it. I'm going to tear your building down and build my own big office. Okay? And you're going to foot the bill for it. Ha ha ha. How's that? This man's doing it right under your nose, people. He's stealing you blind. He's tearing your business apart and dismantling it brick by brick. In Congress, the Senate, you're letting him do it. So you're the one that's going to have to answer to all this in the end. You're the one that's going to have to answer. I can't stress enough, everybody. You better start voting blue straight down that party line. Otherwise, you're not going to have a pot to piss in when you wake up tomorrow. I'm going to wish everybody luck now. All right.
Okay, I have to vent and ask a question at the end and vent some more. But my mind is blown at this very moment because I just went to Walmart to go. I was looking for just one item. Did I get the item? No, because they don't have the item. Anyways, so I thought I would stroll through the meat aisle, right? Because all I have at home is chicken and pork. And I was like, well, maybe something's on sale or on clearance or decently priced. And I could pick up, something for dinner later or whatever, right? Let's just check it out. And so, I did. I picked up more pork carnitas. There's $6.50 for that. But I came across steak, and it was the average price for two uncooked ribeyes was $48. $48. That's you're paying $50. That's half of $100 bill for two uncooked steaks. My mind is blown right now. What is happening? What is happening? I feel like the government is pricing us out of the grocery stores, right? Because the restaurants are oh, no one's eating out anymore. And so now they're well, come eat out the restaurant because you can get a full meal for $25 with a cooked steak, 2 sides, I guarantee a drink, and maybe even add a salad for $2, right? For $25 versus going to Walmart and getting a 2-pack of ribeyes for uncooked steaks for $50. $25 for the one ribeye that you have to still go home and season and cook. Hopefully you cook it right. And then you have to figure out your sides as well and figure out your drink. So now you're averaging probably $35, $40 for your one meal. I hate the grocery store lately. Absolutely hate it. There's no way that this is financially feasible in the real world. So I just can't. I'm done with steak. I'm done. I am done with the cow. F the cow, right? That's where I'm at. Because how are we doing this? How are we financially affording groceries right now? Because I can barely financially afford life, nonetheless groceries. So we're not eating steak lately, and I'm left with chicken and pork. So give me all of your chicken and pork ideas. What meals can I make with chicken and pork? Because those are cheap. I don't even care if it's some Asian meals or a Thai meal. Let's explore, because being an American, going to the grocery store and just trying to eat a steak is not happening anymore. I am done with the cow. Done.
Most people don't realize that elections have consequences. They're not just about campaign rallies, slogans, or emotional speeches. They affect the prices of groceries, rent, electricity, healthcare, gas, insurance, and so on, So you should never vote based on emotions, racism, or even culture wars. Read and understand what the policies will do after the elections. Because after the elections, you'll still have to buy groceries, You'll still have to pay rent or even your mortgage. You still need healthcare, and affordable childcare. So pay more attention to economic policies instead of political slogans, because the economy affects everyone, Expensive groceries do not ask who you voted for. Elections should always be about solving problems instead of creating division. And it's very frustrating to hear leaders say the economy is doing well, while millions of Americans, they are skipping meals, they are buying fewer groceries, and deciding which bill to pay first, For families living paycheck to paycheck, hearing that the economy is doing great may feel disconnected from the daily reality. Americans deserve leaders who understands what the ordinary citizens are going through, and not just those who care about the rich and the billionaires. The challenges Americans are facing now are too serious to ignore. People want affordability regardless of any political affiliation. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.